I grew up in Carson.
Okay.
And then, with my parents. And then once I got on my own past 18 years old, then I LA.
Okay.
And that's like right off of there, off of 107th and Normandy, in between Butler and Normandy.
Okay. And this is, I mean, what year were you born? Because you're like
I'm old.
62, right?
I'll be 63 in December.
63. So that means that you're like, you were born 62?
1962.
62. Wow. And I mean, I guess like, what was your family life like, and what was growing up in LA like?
Oh man,
time?
it was rough out there in LA. You know what I'm saying? It was especially the street that I stayed on, 107th Street. It was real bad. It was real bad. It was real rough over there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And, whew, man, that was bad. I went through a lot over there. It was a tornado over there.
Okay.
So, I'm a very known person.
They told me that you became a Hoover at some point there. I don't know what your standing is with all that.
The politics. The politics. Okay, so I'm gonna just do a little bit on I'm gonna do a little bit on the communities. I'm not gonna do a lot on the community though. So it used to be over there where I stayed at my auntie. She owned the property. So it was, a little clique over there. They called themselves the Maze Gang. So, they was doing their thing for a while over there. And then it was my auntie's, it was her duplexes. So one day, the homies came over there. Like, no, ain't no such thing as no Maze Gang on this street. All y'all Hoovers now, pretty much. That's how that went down.
So it's like one of these situations we hear about, crews sort of getting rolled up into.
Yeah, kind of like that. That they was like, no, y'all can't be doing that. Because like the Maze dudes, they were just like dudes who rapped, made money, kind of stuff like that. But they were like, that's not gonna go down. So that's kind of like how it transitioned into that. And some money, I'm like, you guys don't got no bills, no responsibilities. Y'all don't need no money. I said, all right, I tell y'all what y'all can do. Y'all can get some money. All y'all gotta do is buy a box of candy, and you buy a box of candy for this amount of dollars, and you can make like 2 to 3 times the amount. How are we gonna do that, Dad? I say, okay, so you pay $6 for the candy, and then you sell each candy bar for X amount of dollars, or $1 or whatever it was, and then you double. Oh, okay, yeah, Dad, I want to do drones. He was there. I want to do that. I want to do that. Where do we go? Where do we go? I said, okay, we can go to this gas station right here on Manchester and Western. So that's where they started off, right?
Okay.
There, Manchester and Western, and they would sell a little candy. I bet some ladies probably. You'd be like, wait a minute, that is that little kid I used to buy. When they see Drakeo now, they'd be like, wait, that's that little kid. Because his face hasn't changed.
Did you tell him, hey, it's okay to lie and say that this is you raising money for your basketball team or whatever? Because that's what I feel like kids always do. And they always like,